Assassin's Creed 2 begins with Desmond giving a brief monologue about the events of the first game and his current predicament. A few hours after the events of Assassin's Creed, in the year 2012, Desmond Miles touches upon how he was held prisoner by the modern-day Knight Templar Abstergo Industries, and was being forced to relive the genetic memories of his ancestor, Altair ibn Lahad, in order to aid Abstergo in discovering the location of artifacts, known collectively as the Pieces of Eden. Due to the bleeding effect, Desmond has gained eagle vision, enabling him to see a variety of messages and symbols written in blood in his bedroom wall by its former occupant, known only as Subject 16. While staring at the message, former employee and researcher of Abstergo, Lucy Stillman, arrives, covered in blood, and frees Desmond from the room. He then re-enters the Animus briefly and watches the birth of Ezio Auditore da Firenze as she makes a copy of the files located within the machine. The two then escape after a brief scuffle with the company's security guards and arrive at a warehouse in which Lucy and two other modern-day assassins, Shaun Hastings and Rebecca Crane, have set up their own base of operations, complete with their own version of an Animus. Desmond is asked by Lucy to enter their version of the Animus and relive the genetic memory of his ancestor, Ezio Auditore da Firenze, in order to continue the search for the remaining pieces of Eden before Abstergo locates them. Due to the number in the Assassin's Order seriously dwindling, Lucy informs Desmond that she intends to train Desmond in the various skills needed to become an assassin by exploiting the bleeding effect and having Desmond absorb Ezio's abilities. 1476. Ezio, living in Italy during the Renaissance, is approximately 17 when he discovers that his family was betrayed by a close friend of his father's in the midst of a political coup d'etat. Ezio's father's final instructions lead him to a hidden room in the family home with a chest containing the clothing and weapons of an assassin. Ezio is ultimately unable to save his two brothers and father from the betrayer, and all three are falsely convicted of treason. After evacuating their home and sharing a brief accommodation with the family's housemaid's sister, who teaches Ezio some survival techniques, he brings his panicked sister and muted mother to the family's countryside villa, where they are given shelter by Ezio's uncle Mario, who begins training Ezio to become an assassin. Mario also provides information and leads on the conspirators involved in his family's betrayal, which becomes a trail stretching from Florence to Venice and eventually the Vatican. During his travels, Ezio befriends several citizens of Italy who aid him in his pursuit for revenge, including a young Leonardo da Vinci, who travels and decodes pages of Altair's codex, enabling Ezio to gain new weapons and assassination skills. Ezio begins slowly locating and assassinating the conspirators involved, and is ultimately able to identify Rodrigo Borgia as the Grand Master of the Italian Templars, whose main goal is to take control of all Italy. Ezio tracks Rodrigo to Venice and discovers that he has obtained a piece of Eden known as the Apple, an artifact similar to the one that Altair possessed almost 3 centuries prior, the one that we saw in the previous game. Rodrigo has been researching the knowledge surrounding the pieces of Eden extensively, and believes himself to be a prophet named in the documentation of the artifacts, which would ultimately lead him and other Templars to a location known as the Vault, which is believed to contain powerful information and more pieces of Eden. Ezio and Rodrigo duel, and when Ezio gains the upper hand, guards appear and begin to move the fight into the favour of Rodrigo. The allies that Ezio has made over the years arrive shortly after, and they defeat Rodrigo, who flees for fear of his life, leaving the apple behind. The allies and friends of Ezio finally reveal their common trait, that they are all members of the Assassins, including the great Niccolo Machiavelli. They induct Ezio into the Order, informing him that they believe him to be the actual prophet who will lead the Assassins, not the Templars, to the Vault. Desmond takes short breaks from the Animus, and during one he is tested by Lucy to see if the bleeding effect has been working. Desmond is able to demonstrate all of Ezio's skills, indicating that he has absorbed years' worth of abilities in only a matter of hours. During this break, however, Desmond suffers a strange hallucination, which returns him to the body of Altair in Acre. During the memory, Altair makes love to Maria Thorpe, an ex-Templar, and Desmond is confused to find that after Altair leaves, the memory stays behind with Maria. Throughout the genetic memories as Ezio, Desmond discovers multiple glyphs placed on various landmarks that are only visible to someone using the Animus. The glyphs are found to be the same ones drawn on Desmond's bedroom wall in Abstergo, and analysis reveals that they contain computer code hidden within the Animus. It is ultimately discovered that Subject 16 hacked the Animus and placed the glyphs within the memories himself, which were carried over to the new Animus when Lucy loaded the information she had recovered at Abstergo. Each glyph contained a great number of historical artworks, photographs and messages past and present, implicating a great number of prominent events and figures with the Templars and Pieces of Eden. Each also contained a puzzle of some sort, which, when solved, contained clips of a larger video. The clips, however, are short and out of sequence. After locating and solving all 20 glyphs, the video is revealed. The video begins with the Abstergo logo shown above the title, Subject 16, Subject 12, Classified Date BCE. The video follows a man and a woman who call each other by the names of Adam and Eve, running through a strangely modern and futuristic world, apparently being chased by someone or something. They pass through a complex where workers are busy building more pieces of Eden and climb to the roof. Eve holds up the apple and the video suddenly ends with a flash of binary code that translates to Eden. Desmond returns to the Animus, and the team finds that many of the following memories are corrupted. They are able to begin again, but only years after the fight between the assassins and Rodrigo. The memories restart in 1499, and the team discovers that the latter gained influence and power in the Catholic Church, ultimately being elected Pope as Alexander VI. Ezio and his allies have searched long and hard and collected all 30 pages of the Codex, discovering through it that the vault lies in Rome, specifically underneath the Vatican. They realise that the papal staff is another piece of Eden, and Rodrigo is hoping to use it to achieve access to the vault. Ezio travels to the Vatican and attempts to assassinate Rodrigo, who uses the staff against Ezio, who retaliates with the apple. During the ensuing battle, Ezio is stabbed and Rodrigo escapes with both pieces of Eden. Ezio then chases after him and finds Rodrigo trying to open the vault in vain. The two fight once more and Rodrigo finally falls. However, Ezio refuses to kill him, insisting that he has killed enough in his life and the continued deaths will not reverse the fate of his family. Ezio proves himself to be the prophet when in his hands the apple and staff open the vault. Inside the vault, he finds not pieces of Eden, but an empty room and a holographic figure named Minerva. She claims that she brought Ezio to her so that almost 600 years later, Desmond and his allies would hear her words through the Animus. Minerva explains that she and her race were part of an advanced society that settled on Earth before a celestial event destroyed most of the life on Earth. Before the disaster that befell them, the members of her species created humans and used them as a race for workforce. However, humanity rebelled against their creators and initiated a long-spanning war. Ultimately, the humans seemingly won, but then the catastrophe occurred, wiping out many humans and the precursor race. Of those remaining, the two species worked to recreate the world, before the advanced race sealed themselves in temples around the world, hoping to prevent the same disaster that had destroyed most of their kind from happening once again. As Minerva finishes, she speaks to Desmond directly by name, and informs him that she has done all she needs, and that the rest remains up to him and his allies. The memory ends, and Desmond awakens in the present to find that Abstergo has located and began attacking the assassins, as Shaun and Rebecca pull him out of the Animus. Desmond is given a hidden blade by Lucy, and the two run downstairs to stop the guards as Shaun and Rebecca pack up their equipment. With the skills he absorbed from Ezio, Desmond is able to dispatch the forces that have been sent against them, and he discovers Warren Vidic standing at the back of the truck. He sarcastically tells Desmond to enjoy his temporary victory, and the truck drives away. From there, Shaun and Rebecca finish gathering the equipment, and Lucy assures Desmond that Vidic will get what he deserves. The group vacates the hideout and attempts to find a new safe house where, according to Lucy, they should be safe for some time. As they drive, Lucy prepares to review the tapes of Desmond's latest session, noting how the situation has escalated dramatically and how Minerva's words proved everything she was afraid of. She theorizes that Minerva was discussing the Earth's geomagnetic reversal, which could have detrimental effects on the planet. Rebecca prepares the Animus for Desmond to re-enter as Lucy speculates there may be more to discover in his memories. Thank you for watching that, everybody. If you liked this video and you want to know more Assassin's Creed lore and backstory and recaps and everything, then subscribe to Jam Punch, because I'm going to be releasing a brand new Assassin's Creed video every single week. My name is George, this is Jam Punch, and I will see you next time.